warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. So in this video I would like to discuss about Kirchhoff rules. Okay, so Kirchhoff rules ni sometimes dalam semester ni ramai student yang dia a little bit scared about this chapter, dia macam traumatized. Tapi for me personally, it is quite a simple rules. As long as you follow step by step punya method lah. Ada banyak method. If you go through internet, ada macam-macam cara. And then if you refer to different lectures pun ada different cara. So it's up to you. You want to apply which method. As long as you can get the answer correctly, I wouldn't mind. Okay, ikutlah cara apa pun. But this is my method lah. I will show you my method and then you can decide. Okay, so first of all, the introduction. Kirchhoff rules. When do you want to use Kirchhoff rules? So if you have a normal circle, like a single loop, most of the time you don't have to use Kirchhoff rules. But the Kirchhoff rules still apply in any circuit. It's just that you don't have to use that one to solve any particular. You wouldn't need to solve any problems with that for single loop like that. But if for single loop you have more than one EMF, you still have to use Kirchhoff rules. But not to this extent. You just have to apply loop rule. Okay, sebab dia tak ada junction. But here what I'm going to show is that what if you have more than one loop? That one is obviously you have to use these rules. Okay, and then I think I have to write it for you. Okay, so you have to use Kirchhoff rules when you have more than more than one power supply. But this one normally you don't have to apply junction rule lah. This one is if it is for one loop. Okay, and then another example, it is 2 plus loop. So anything more than one loop, obviously you have to use Kirchhoff rules. Okay, it has two laws. One is a junction law, another one is loop law. For junction law, it says that at any junction in a circuit, the summation of current into the junction is equal to the summation of current out from the junction. So here I show you the example lah. If let's say I1 coming into the junction, and then this one is I2 and I3 coming out, the sum of I2 and I3 will be equals to I1. Ni kalau ada 10 going out here, then still you have to add everything equals to the I in. Okay, if you have more than one current coming into the junction, then it will be more than one lah in this side. Okay, so every single time you need to apply these rules. Okay, if it is have a junction, if the circuit has a junction. Okay, the second rules is a loop rule. So you will expect if you have a multiple loop, I'll draw it for you. Here is 2 loops. Let's say if I have 2 loops. Okay, so you need to apply the junction rule over here. Okay, and then you need to apply loop rule and on loop 1 and loop 2 respectively. Okay, loop rule pula cakap summation of EMF is equal to summation of IR. They actually comes from sum of gain potential minus the loss potential is equals to 0. Itu the definition sebenarnya lah. So this one actually on the left hand side. So we have summation of gain minus summation of loss. So you expect normally if a potential across a resistor, it is a potential loss. Kalau across a power supply, it is a potential gain. Itu dia punya maksud. But you don't have to worry too much about that. Now you just have to apply. Okay, so on the left hand side is basically summation of all the EMF in the circuit. So let's see if I have multiple EMF in the circuit. This and that. Okay, so you have to determine the direction of loop first. Let's see if you determine the direction of loop is in that direction, and then you just have to look at your loop direction. Here, if you're coming out from the negative terminal, that means this one would be negative EMF. If coming out from negative EMF. Okay, so here actually I draw it for you. Kalau direction of EMF to the right, dia it actually looks like dia keluar daripada positive terminal, kan? So dia adalah positive. Okay, kalau dia keluar from negative, like down here, is a negative terminal. So sorry, if it is negative terminal, you have to write negative lah, negative EMF. Okay, the next example would be this one, across a resistor. Okay, and this one ramai student got confused because now it involves two direction. One is a loop direction that I'm talking about just now, and then the another one is current direction. That one is for current. So I will show you clearly after this in the examples. For now, just remember, if current and loop direction is in the same direction, that means it's a positive IR. Okay, if in the opposite direction like this, it will be negative IR. Okay, so for example, I would choose example 3.6.2 as our starting point. This will be the easiest example that you can try lah. And let's say this is an exam, you get the question. The first thing that you need to do, you have to determine whether you need to use Kirchhoff or not. So in this case, you have two loops, so it's obvious that you need to use Kirchhoff. Okay, so the first thing, once you get the question, is that you need to, for me lah personally, I would label current punya parts tu dekat mana dengan kat mana. Maksud saya, if you see I ni, actually I ni represent the current from here to here. Dia selagi dia tak jumpa any junction, current tu value dia akan sama. Okay, contoh lain, kalau I2 from here to here, that one is I2 sebab dia tak jumpa any junction lagi. Okay, and then I1 is from here to here. Okay, just determine part I2 yang mana satu. Okay, maybe I can change, maybe in exam you can do it like this as well. Let's say I put my I1 with maybe orange color. So this one is, that means yang orange color ni semua adalah I1. Oops. So this is I1 punya parts. I2 maybe we can use the green one, tak masalah. So dalam exam pun kalau kamu ada highlighter ke, if you have a different color pen, buat macam ni pun tak masalah. Okay, dan I yang tengah-tengah tu I can choose maybe purple color in this case. Okay, so kamu dah bagikan kepada tiga warna, tiga current. Okay, now the next step is that you have to determine the direction of loop. So loop direction in this case, maybe I can use the pink one. Okay, loop direction, kalau kamu nak pilih, ikut direction EMF paling besar. In this case kita ada dua EMF, we have 12 and 9. Obviously 12 is bigger, we follow this one. Maksud saya follow tu, you follow the positive terminal of the bigger EMF. Okay, let's say in this case dia gerak dari sini kan, so direction of loop will be in this direction. Okay, this is my first loop, and direction of my second loop, normally if you want to choose, yang in the middle, yang apa tu, yang menyambungkan loop 1 and loop 2, you want to choose it so that it is the same direction. So saya nak pilih dia macam ni ke bawah juga kan, sebab barulah yang dekat purple ni sama direction. Kalau saya buat ke atas, dia akan opposite direction. So obviously I would like to choose in this direction. So this one for my second loop. Okay, tapi saya nak ingatkan loop direction dengan current direction, kalau kamu determine dalam exam, let's say kamu terbalik tentukan, tak ada masalah. Sebenarnya dia tak ada masalah pun. It doesn't matter which direction that you choose, as long as you stick with that direction. Daripada awal soalan sampai akhir soalan, gunakan direction tu. Jangan kamu buat separuh lepas tu kamu tukar. Okay, itu salah. Kalau kamu buat macam tu, kamu stick dengan tu, kalau kamu buat terbalik, nanti jawapan akhir kamu ada dapat negative something like that. Nanti saya tunjuk lah aku kalau ada example. Okay, kalau especially pasal yang current punya direction. Okay, that one is for loop direction. Okay, kenapa saya pilih in that ways? Supaya saya nak kurangkan nilai negatif. So this is the reason kenapa saya ikut yang nilai yang besar tu. Okay, kalau kamu dah buat beberapa soalan, nanti kamu nampak kot reasoning tu kenapa. Okay, now macam mana kamu nak determine direction of current? Okay, sometimes in exam, I think most of the time kot, in exam they give you direction of current. So if they give you direction of current, you just have to follow their direction. Jangan kamu pandai-pandai tak nak ikut dia. But in this case, they didn't give you, so you have to determine. Kalau kamu nak determine, the basic rule is that you want to have the least negative. So you choose the current direction so that it is in the same direction with the loop direction. Okay. Example. So I'm gonna choose the purple one. We start with the middle one, yang I tu. So if you look at the loop direction, for the middle part here, loop direction is going downwards. Okay. Okay, sometimes when I draw the loop direction ni macam circular, ada student dia tak nampak yang benda ni sebenarnya going downwards. So walaupun saya lukis this one circular, but in reality loop flow tu macam ni lah. Cuma saya nak bezakan dia dengan direction of current. So yang loop direction tu biasa saya buat macam circular sikit, but yang current tu saya buat straight like that. Okay, anyway, current direction for I is going downwards. Kita yang decide, kita pilih dia. I1 ikut loop direction juga. Loop direction macam ni kan. So kalau kat bawah ni dia ke kiri lah. Kalau I2, if you follow the loop direction, that direction. So bawah sana ke kanan. Okay. Let's say if you want, so just now I just focus on this junction kan. Kalau kamu nak fokus kat junction atas pun boleh, tak ada masalah. So atas ni purple tu ke bawah kat situ. Kalau green, the flow macam ni lah. So towards the junction tu dia ke kiri, macam into the junction, that. And kalau orange, again dia still flow, and this one to the right. Okay, nampak simple, nampak yelah, memang simple pun, tapi dalam exam biasanya sangkut kat sini lah. And the thing is, yang paling menyedihkannya sebenarnya kamu duk pening nak tentukan direction of current and loop, but at the end of the day sebenarnya tak penting ya. I mean, tak kisah apa kalau kamu terbalik. Let's say kamu tiba-tiba kata nak buat green tu ke sana, tak ada masalah pun. Jawapan kamu cuma akan akhir maybe akan dapat negatif. Maksudnya initial assumption kamu tu opposite direction than the actual value of current punya direction. Itu je. So it's simple things, jangan complicated thing. Okay, now kamu dah lukis semua cantik. Ada loop direction, ada current direction, semua cukup. You dah label loop 1, loop 2, and then yang color component untuk pun kamu dah tulis, dah lukis. So now the next step, obviously you want to solve. The first thing that you can use is that you have to apply the junction root. Okay, I'm gonna write over here, junction. Okay, I don't know why I write. Okay, kalau dulu kat sekolah, kau tulis belakang line merah ni kena marah. So junction rule. The junction rule state that summation of I into the junction is equal to summation of I going out from that junction. So I have to choose one junction. Saya nak pilih mana tak kisah. Sama ada I can choose the red junction over here or yang kat atas tu, it doesn't matter. So in this case I choose yang bawah tu sebab saya dah lukis kat situ. So the I that is going in at the red junction tu adalah yang warna purple. Yang purple tu je yang going masuk, hijau dan orange tu keluar. Yang purple tu actually adalah I, and then you just have to list down lah. Ni actually equal equal I1 plus I2. You just have to list down. Kalau ada 10 I keluar, you just list down I1 plus I2 plus I3 sampai 10. Tak adalah. That one is for junction rule. Okay, the next one is that, so junction rule kamu dah dapat satu equation. Jangan lupa pula. So that one is one equation. The next one, obviously you want to apply loops rule. Okay, loop ruling, basically you want to apply summation of EMF equals to summation of IR. Okay, so gain equal loss. Kalau kamu ingat lagi lah yang saya cakap before this. So summation of EMF gain equals to summation of loss tu yang dekat resistor. Okay, we can start from loop 1 or loop 2, tak kisah start mana. Biasanya kita start loop 1 lah. So kita start daripada sini. Kadang-kadang dia atas bawah, so tak kisah mana nak start, bawah dulu, kiri, atas dulu, doesn't matter. So point mana kamu nak start? Kamu nak start di sini boleh, daripada sini boleh, daripada sini boleh, daripada sini boleh, tak kisah. But obviously you want to start yang left hand side ni dulu. Left hand side ni adalah power supply. Power supply dekat dalam loop 1 hanya ada satu. So satu power supply which is 12 volt. Okay, every time kamu tulis, so kamu tulis 12 lah, equals to, before kamu moving on, you have to ask yourself, 12 tu positive or negative? Is it positive value or negative value? Macam mana nak tahu positive negative? You can always refer back to previous page. Kalau yang positive, dia keluar daripada, kalau dia keluar loop direction ni kan, dia keluar daripada positive terminal, dia positive. Kalau dia keluar daripada negative terminal, dia negative. So dekat sini dia positive, sebab dia keluar daripada positive terminal. So you can see here clearly loop direction in that direction. So okay, kalau kamu rasa kamu tak nampak loop direction tu, kalau lukis circular, you can draw it squarish like that. Okay, ataupun you can draw one by one lah, loop direction macam tu, loop direction like that, loop direction like that, loop direction like that. So kamu tak confuse. Ini tadi. Okay, so positive. Nak letak boleh, tak nak letak tak kisah. Normally I will put, because saya tahu yang saya dah fikir dia positif dan negatif. Okay, now you want to, sebab dah tak ada power supply lain, so you can move to the yang right hand side ni. You can move to this one lah. So IR ada kat sini ada 3 resistor, 1, 2, 3. Setiap satu tu kamu kena tulis. So basically for resistor 1, for resistor 2, for resistor 3. Okay, we start with the, kita ikut je loop direction tu. Tadi kita dah mula daripada EMF ni. So the next one dijumpa is yang 3.9 tu. Okay, for that 3.9, I dia adalah I1. Macam mana saya tahu dia adalah I1? Tengok warna dekat atas resistor tu sebenarnya adalah color orange. So orange tu represent by I1. So kalau kamu label dia sebagai R1 ke R2, R3, kamu boleh substitute lah ada R1, R2, R3. Tapi kat sini saya tak label, so saya kena substitute nilai dia terus 3.9. Positive or negative, ikut direction of current and direction of loop. So in this case, direction of current, kalau dekat atas resistor 3.9 ni, to the right. Okay, loop direction pun sebenarnya ke kanan juga. So in the same direction, so that means it is positive. Okay, the next resistor is this one. Kita tengok juga loop direction, current direction. Loop direction downwards, current direction yang purple tu downwards juga. So same direction, so positive. This one I only, I and 1.2. Okay, so bila dalam exam ni kadang-kadang dia dah banyak dia tersalah tulis. Tu kamu kena tengok betul-betul. Sayanglah kamu faham tersalah tulis. Okay, the last resistor yang tinggal is 9.8. Loop direction, kalau dekat atas resistor ni dia adalah ke kiri, to the left. Okay, walaupun dia circular macam ni, tapi dekat atas resistor ni to the left. Orange tu adalah current direction to the left as well. So both of those current and loop in the same direction, I can write positive as well. Okay, now obviously you want to simplify a little bit lah. Example kat sini, yang I1 tu kamu boleh gabungkan. Okay, ambil calculator kamu, press your calculator. 9.8 plus 3.9. Kalau ada minus, kamu minus je lah. Apa yang saya buat ni? Okay. So I get 13.7. So just write it over here. 13.7 I1 plus 1.2 I equals to 12. Okay, tapi tak apalah, kita biar dia sini. Di sini nak ajar kamu rearrange so that kamu boleh masukkan dalam calculator. Tapi I think that one is the last part lah. Saya tinggalkan dekat last kali before we press our calculator. That one is for our first loop. Okay, moving on to our second loop. So kita dah ada dua equation. Kita ada dua equation. We have three variables. So we still have to determine one more equation. So again, apply the same concept. From loop 1 kita apply dekat second loop. We start with the EMF values. Here we only have power supply here, 9 volt. So follow the loop direction, move upwards. So it comes out from the positive terminal. Dia keluar daripada positive terminal. So that one, the value is positive. So straight away write positive 9 equals to, sebab dia ada satu je kan. So kalau ada dua, kat sini ada lagi, tambahlah dua dulu, siap-siap semua kat sini. The second resistor is this one, 6.7. So it will be I2. Kenapa I2? Sebab dia masih lagi green color. Green color tu represent I2. 6.7. Okay. And then positive ke negatif? Tengok balik direction dia. Loop direction ke kiri, current direction ke kiri. So same direction, positive. And then the other resistor here, the 1.2 one, 1.2, current direction downwards, loop direction the same direction. So positive juga. So plus, ni adalah I because dia adalah purple. So yang current direction tu, sebab tu saya suggest kamu untuk lukis pakai pen color so that you can immediately you can see that one correspond to I yang mana. Ataupun alternatively, okay, abaikan bunyi tersebut. Alternatively, kamu boleh label I tu dekat right next to the resistor so that you can see clearly. Kau tak ada pen banyak kali kan. Okay, and then again you can simplify. 6.7 I2 plus 1.2 I. I think I'm gonna stop sekejap. Okay, so to continue with that, now kamu dah ada, actually you already have 3 equation, 1, 2 and 3. So the next step is that you want to solve this equation. Kalau kamu nak kira satu persatu boleh je, tak ada masalah, masukkan dalam tu. Tapi panjang sikit lah cerita dia. And then dia biasanya tak ada markah untuk calculation like that. Final answer ada jawapan. So you just want to final answer now. Okay, now this step, saya nak kamu do another step. Okay, that one is ugly. I want you to do another step, extra step, so that when you try to press your calculator, it will be much easier. So this step is that I want to rewrite the equation 1. Equation 1 ni, 2 and 3 ni saya nak kamu rewrite. Tapi dengan syarat kamu rewrite dia dalam bentuk yang sama. Apa maksud saya bentuk sama tu? I want you write down in, saya tulis katakan kamu ada I. So kita ada 3 variables So I want you guys to write in terms of I1, I2, and then any numbers yang tak ada variables, I want to write over here. Okay, this is the method, susunan lah yang saya nak kamu tulis. So maksud saya, kalau equation 1 ni kamu ada I, ada I1 and ada I2, ada 3 benda. So basically I want to bring semua variables to one side. So maybe I can bring it to left hand side and left hand side. So it becomes, mana pula saya nak tulis, maybe I can write over here. So if I bring it to the left, I got I minus I1 minus I2 equals to 0. So saya nak kamu tulis dalam bentuk ni, exactly macam bawah ni lah, so that you can write down will be I minus 1 I1. 1 tu tak nampak pun, tapi saya tulis minus 1 I2. I pun ada 1 equals to 0. Okay, the next equation yang ni, equation number 2. Okay, yang nombor ni dah ada kat tepi, so I can write down as 12 macam tu. Okay, I ada 1.2. Okay, 13.7 correspond to I1, so it will be plus 13.7 I1. Tadi jadi negatif, so saya bawa ke kiri. Yang ni saya memang biar dekat situ. Plus 0 I2. So I2 tu tak ada nilai 0. So this one is important because you have to substitute inside your calculator. Kamu kena tekan dalam calculator. So memudahkan lah bila kamu nak tekan sekejap lagi. And then the third equation tu, yang 9 tu memang dah ada dekat one side, so I put it over here. Okay, I kamu ada 1.2, and then I1 tak ada, so 0 I1 plus 6.7 I2. Okay, so basically you still have the 3 equation. It's just that you rearrange the equation to become something that it is easier for you to press your calculator. Okay, dah tak muat, so I have to add the new page. Okay, now you want to press your calculator, and then obviously you want to get the final answer, I1, I2 and I1, I2, sorry. So it will be I1 and I2. So macam mana nak press calculator? Okay, kalau kamu pakai yang Casio FX570EX tu, saya assume kita semua pakai itulah. Kalau pakai lain, tak berhenti pakai, berjumpa saya. Tekan menu. Okay, and then kamu cari equation function. Okay, dia actually dekat A. Kamu kena tekan bawah sikit kot, tekan bawah. Dia lepas nombor 9 ada A. So macam mana kamu nak enter, kamu kena tekan minus. Okay, kamu akan ada keluar simultaneous equation dengan polynomial. Ambil simultaneous equation. Numbers of unknowns, dia tanya ada berapa banyak variables. Kat sini ada 3. So select 3, so kamu ada 3 baris. So saya nak kamu buat sama-sama ni. Kalau kamu tak ni, cari kalkulator kamu. Okay, dia ada X, Y, Z, lepas tu ada kosong. So kamu nak masukkan yang X tu sebagai pengganti untuk I, yang Y tu I1, Z tu I2. Okay, tengok balik equation kamu tadi. Dekat I1 kamu tekan 1. Okay, lepas tekan sama dengan, lepas tekan negatif 1 sama dengan lagi. Kamu nampak dia akan gerak daripada X, Y, dia pergi kat Z pula. Tekan negatif 1, jangan lupa negatif tu, and then press enter. And then 0 tu kamu boleh skip. Kalau tak boleh nak skip, tekan 0, tekan sama dengan. Okay, lepas tu 1.2 tekan equal, and then positive 13.7 equal 0, tekan equal 12, tekan equal. Lepas 1.2 equal 0 equal 6.7 equal and 9 equal. Okay, ada certain cara, maybe dia prefer kamu buat dalam table. It's up to you lah. Kalau kamu suka dalam table ke apa, tak kisah. Okay, so you press equal sign, tekan sama dengan lagi sekali, and now you will get 1.75. That one correspond to X. X yang tadi kita assume dia adalah I. So jangan tulis terbalik, tulis ikut susunan. This one matter. 1.75 unit is ampere. And then kamu ada pecahan pula. So tekan S dash arrow D tu, so that you can change decimal. So you get 0, that one's for Y, which is I1, 0.72 ampere. And if you press one more time, you get Z, which is 1.03 ampere. That one's correspond to I2. Okay, kalau kamu tekan lagi sekali, dia pergi balik. So you have to edit lah. Kalau kamu nak edit, boleh. Okay, if you want to change back to original setup tu, tekan menu, lepas tu tekan 1, calculate macam biasa. Okay, so this one is for our example 3.6.2. Ingat pesan saya, number 1, kamu colourkan current punya direction tu, ataupun kamu tuliskan dekat setiap resistor, sebelah resistor tu correspond to I yang nombor berapa. Okay, tu step number 1. Step number 2, kamu draw loop direction. You can draw it circular like that, ataupun kalau kamu prefer yang squarish, buatlah squarish. Tak kisah kamu nak buat macam mana, janji kamu faham. Okay, third step, you determine the direction of current. Kalau dalam soalan tak beri, kalau dalam soalan beri, you just follow the question. Okay, loop direction ikut EMF paling besar. Katakan saya ada 2 EMF dekat satu loop, ambil yang paling besar, ikut yang dia. Okay, kalau current direction, biasanya cuba untuk ikut loop direction. Kalau tak boleh ikut, tak apa, letak je. Kalau kamu dapat negatif, dia akan dapat negatif kat sini. So dekat sini ada nilai negatif. Maksudnya maybe kalau kamu dapat negatif I2, maksudnya I2 ni sebenarnya direction dia ke kiri. Daripada initial assumption kamu yang assume tu terbalik. Itu je maksudnya. Doesn't matter. Tak adalah kamu akan dapat jawapan lain. So don't worry about that. Then the second step, you have to apply the junction and loop rule. So junction rule paling senang. Pick any junction and then list down I in equals to I out. Okay, yang loop rule ni yang ramai student biasanya salah, sebab dia terlupa letak kalau ada negatif. Ni semua positif, so tak masalah. Okay, so that one is for example 3.6.2. Tolong cuba tekan calculator kamu dekat sini. Try to press the calculator, make sure you get the same answer. For the next example, I would like to discuss about PSPM question 2014-2015, question number 4C. Okay, kalau tak nak cari, dekat belakang buku tutorial tu ada. Okay, so I already draw the color, different color for different current. Here I choose orange for I1, I choose purple for I2, and green for I3. Here in this question, the direction of current is given, so you just have to follow lah. I1, I3 and I2 in respective direction. Okay, the loop direction. So obviously the first thing after you colored the circuit, you have to choose the direction of loop. So to choose loop direction, I just find the largest EMF here. It will be 18 volt here, the largest power supply. I just follow that one. So the positive is in this direction, so I would expect my loop direction will be in that direction as well. Okay, I just follow that one. And this is the middle ground here, middle circuit there. So both direction of loop I choose in the same direction, so it's going upwards in the middle here. So in loop 2, I expect this one is going upward as well. Okay, I just label loop 1 and loop 2. Okay, now I have to apply the junction rule. So I choose this junction. Okay, I think they draw the I2 over here. I just bring it up here as well, so that you can see clearly. At this junction, there's actually I3 coming in and I1 and I2 going out. Okay, you have to look at the arrow carefully. So applying junction rule, I in is I3 there. Okay, I3 is coming in. The going out is I1 and I2. Okay, going out I1 and I2. Okay, so applying the loop rule for the first loop here. So again, I would start from the 18 volt here. So this one is positive, it coming out from the positive terminal, so positive 18, and going through on the other side. So if I want to write, I will write summation of EMF equals to summation of IR, right? So on the left hand side, I will write positive 18 equals to, and then IR. So here in this case, it will be this one, 25 volt is on the right hand side. Positive because loop direction to the right, current direction also to the right. It's going up from here, and then this one is going to the right. Okay, and then going through the EMF or power supply here. So this one, if you look carefully, the loop direction is coming out from the negative terminal. So negative terminal means negative lah. So 18 minus 12 just now equals to this one, and this one is positive as well because current to the left, loop direction to the left. Okay, so you can see it down here. I already wrote it for you. So like that. Okay, and then from here, from this equation, you can solve into I1 straight away. So just repeat one more time. It would be 18 minus 12 because you have 18 volt. This one is coming out from the positive terminal. You have to refer to the loop direction here. Okay, for the 12 volt, it is actually coming out from the negative terminal. Coming out tu macam kalau kamu bayangkan loop tu, loop direction tu dia keluar daripada positive terminal, keluar daripada negative terminal. So 18 minus 12. Okay, yang on the right hand side, both of these are positive because loop direction on resistor is to the right, current direction is also to the right. Up here, loop direction to the left, current direction to the left. So that's why that one is positive. Okay, moving on to the second loop. Again, you can start from anywhere you want, but normally I will start from the power supply here. So you're coming out from the negative terminal. Right, you can see here. So because of that, negative 12 equal to this one, this side. For this side, current is actually moving upward, and your loop direction is moving downwards. So that one will be negative. Again, if you cannot see properly with the circular loop direction, try to draw squarish punya loop direction. So it will be negative 12 and negative 18 there. And you can get I3 as well. So you have I1 and I3. You can substitute inside the first equation, and you can find I3. So I got the I3, and then final answer. My suggestion is that you just list down all the answer here. Okay, if you have negative, just leave it in negative as well. You don't have to do anything. Okay, so I just want to conclude on this Kirchhoff law. Make sure, Kirchhoff law. Okay, so in conclusion, whenever you get the question, you have to determine whether this one you have to use Kirchhoff law or not. Okay, if you have to use the Kirchhoff law, the first thing is that you have, my suggestion is that you try to color the part of the circuit with the exact current. So with the respective current lah, different color for different current. Okay, once you do that, you can draw the direction of loop. Okay, you just have to follow the largest potential, the largest EMF. So like in this case is 18 volt. Then the other loop, normally I would follow exactly the same direction in the middle here. Okay, current direction if given, you just have to follow. If not, you just have to decide it. So normally I would try to draw the current direction in the same direction with the loop direction if the current direction is not given. And then you just have to use junction rule, and then loop 1 and then second loop, and then you can solve. If you have to use calculator, you just use calculator, or else you can, like in this question, you can solve simply by straight away you can find the answer. Don't forget to list down the final answer with unit. Okay, that's all. Thank you.